Hey guys, so today is day 5 of Road to GM. Alright, so in today, like I said, I'm still using the same book, Secrets of Chess Training. Yeah, and this is what I learned today. This game was played between Zayt and Yusupov. Alright, so Yusupov is the black pieces. Let me flip the board. Alright, so, in this position, Yusupov played King F8. Right? So White's position is difficult. His kingside pawn structure is a little bit weak, right? And Black has the advantage of two bishops, right? Yeah, he have the bishop pair. So yeah, I mean this is a significant advantage in open positions. However, as a brief analysis, right, and the game was to be continued the same evening. Alright, so by Yusupov and the author of this book, Duretsky, show it would be difficult for Black to realize his advantage given exact defense, since too few pawns remain on the board. So in this position, right, so after King F8 was played, White played B4. It's a correct move because White must try to exchange pawns when they are defending a worse ending. Now Black has to make the difficult choice between King E7 and A takes B4. Alright, let's look about King E7. So after King E7, White takes, Knight C5, Bishop D5, and now he has this Bishop D3 move. Alright, and there's no clear road for further strengthening Black's position is visible. Right, for instance, after Bishop C3, and now there's Knight E4. Right, it's a double attack, and after trade, it's a different color bishop, so obviously it's a draw. Right, if let's say you play Bishop B2, right now you have Bishop B4. Alright, and King D6 would be a mistake in this position because of Knight B7 check. Right, again you trade different colored bishops, and yeah, and now he's forking the king and the pawn. So right, let's say in this position, let's say you go King D6, right, and now Knight E4, King E5, and now Knight takes F6 will be a mistake. Why? Because now it's same color bishop. So after takes, this will be right, this is apparently won due to the weakness of white pawns. Right, however, by playing Knight D2 in this position, with the idea of Knight C4, still white can drive the opposite pieces back. Right, the opposite color bishop. So yeah, and obviously that King E7 in this position, will be a long game, So in this position, a completely different situation arises after A takes B4. Knight takes B4, and now he plays King E7. Alright, so here's the first question. How should white continue? So after any normal move, such as King F2, and now King D6, produce a situation that is significantly more favorable for Black than those in the variations considered above. Right? If we assess White's positions as being lost here, right? Then yes, and then the realize, right, that discover a very strong move, which is A5 in this position. Right, so after A5 is a very strong move. after takes, and now knight c6 is necessary to play this. Okay, so king d6. So takes on c6 will be a simple draw. After takes, king d6, bishop e8. Right, you have two choice basically. If you want to avoid bishop e8, then alright, then you can play bishop a1. Well, the idea is now king d6, bishop e8, then f6, king e2, king c5, king d3, and it is actually a draw. So let's say king d6 in this position, bishop e8, king c5, king f2, king b4 takes, a4 takes, a3, king c3, king b2, and a2. Right, your bishop's under attack, so bishop d8, e4, a2, takes, e5, king here, king e6, good move. King here, here, bishop f6 here, takes, and now king e4, only move to draw the game. And then yeah, again the game ends in a draw. Well, the idea is king e5, lose to g3. Yeah, and then white just start collapse, collect the pawn, black pawn, and then you don't have chances to to take the pawn, like yeah, and then you lose. So but I mean king e4 is just draw the game. Right, now g3 does king f3. So after a5 takes here, and now okay, we should not take the knight and go to the different color bishop in game. So king d6 takes. Okay, now seems like white has exchanged another pair of pawn, but his knight, right, white's knight, alright, is in danger. Of course, after bishop d5, now actually traps his knight. Alright, of course, he cannot play knight c4 because of king c5. That's just a fork. So alright, and also you can't play this move because of bishop c3. Attack the defender, you have to take the bishops. King takes, knight b3, king c4, knight c1. Now bishop d3, bishop d2, just simply bad for white. So after bishop d5, now the good move is bishop d3, king c5, now king f2. Alright, the hurry e4 is a mistake, because after bishop a8, knight b3, king b4, and now our kings gets really active, and it's actually just winning for what? Winning for black. Yeah, it's an easy win. So in this position, king f2, and now so the idea of white pieces, he wanna answer to any natural move with e4. Right, now we want to play e4. For instance, after bishop king b4, I mean, now e4 is a good move. Bishop a8. Alright, bishop a2 is not good because of a5. Sorry, I mean e5, and then if you take, then it's a check. And then we fork the king and the bishop, so you have to go bishop a8. Alright, knight c4. Again, we save the knight. So alright, so let's say you play bishop c3 in this position. Alright, again e4. You have to move the bishop, knight b3, check, king b4, knight c1, bishop d4, king e2, king c3, check, check, king d2, and now again it could be a draw, although black is actually better. Okay, let's say bishop d8 here. Again, we do e4. Bishop a8, knight c4. Alright, knight d2. Sorry, I mean knight b3 and knight d2 is also possible. But okay, knight c4, king d4, king e2, takes, king takes, and now there's this move, knight d6. Right, if you take, oh, knight is just a different color bishop in game, so takes, and then knight d6, forking the king and the pawn. Like it's a drawish, actually. It's a drawish endgame. So it may be that e5 in this position. So e5 in this position. Again we do e4. So it seems like bishop e6 promise black more practical chances. But a draw is also probable here, since two few pawns remain on the board. Right, so a5 is the correct choice. Right, but it's a very hard move to find. Actually, very hard move to find. So in the game, a5 doesn't happen. King f2 happen in the game. Well, and then we just king d6, and now black's further plan is just simple. Alright, he has maximized the activity of his pieces. He will advance the e pawn so as to restrict the mobility of opponent's pieces, and finally penetrate with his king into opponent position. So basically, like this, and then bring the king. Alright, so in the game, 93 was played, trying to, I don't know, just maybe restrict the king, control the king from moving forward, I guess. So, okay, bishop c3, king f1, f6, knight f2, bishop e5 could move. Right, the threat is, actually there's no threat. So bishop e5, knight d3, now bishop g3. So in implementing a strategic plan, it's important to find the best square for one's pieces. Right, so they establish in their home analysis the black square bishops would be especially active on g3. Alright, let's see how the games go. So knight c1 is playing the game, bishop d5, king, knight d3, bishop e3, king e2, bishop d5, king f1, e5 could move, knight b4, bishop b7. Right, extreme accuracy is always required in realizing an advantage. So the careless bishop e6 would give white counter chances after e4. So the idea is, let's say you take there's knight d5, forking this pawn and this pawn. So I mean, maybe black's still better. Yeah, I think black's still better, but yeah, why you give opponents such a chances? So bishop b7, bishop d3, e4 good move. So like I said just now, they're trying. So the first step done, which is advancing the e pawn. All right. So now the next step is just bring out king. Knight a2, bishop a6 check, king g1, bishop d3, knight c3, bishop takes b1. So as is known, possessing the two bishops is good because we can always exchange one of them at an appropriate moment. So knight takes b1, king c4. Now we bring out king d3. Okay, now actually the e pawn fall. So takes, you give some check. Okay, king d3 check, king here. The only checks d1, king d2 check. Right, the same thing happened, but we advance our e pawn. Right, look at this. Check, and you don't have check, so knight here, and now we advance the e pawn, and now the same thing happened. Only checks knight d1 again. The same thing will happen. So, and then in the end we'll get one more move, and e2 just wins. So in this position, white resign. Right. So yeah, at the end of this game, he say, how hard it is to win a one position. Right, and Bobinic say this. Mikhail Bobinic say this. That I glance at a position without any preconceived opinion, and oh joy, I understood the secrets of this game. So yeah, I mean, so basically, yeah, this is the game show you how strong what is the power of two bishops, especially in such open position, and opponent have many weakness here. Yeah, and basically that's how you convert the game. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoy the game. And yeah, so that's all for today. Thanks for watching, and just stay tuned for our, just keep following our road to GM. Yeah, that's all. So bye. See you next video. See you next day.